Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this last talk in One Consciousness, Infinite Perspectives. Our last topic is love. So as per usual, we're going to have about half an hour of talk, a Q&A if you do have some questions. So take a pencil and paper to note possible thoughts and insights that you may want to save, and choose a comfortable position, open your mind, open your heart, and let's dive in together. So tonight we're gonna keep on the exploration of love. We could spend a lifetime speaking about love. We have beautiful poets that have found amazing ways to say it with words to inspire us to love. We have had painters who showed us some beautiful colors, and in art in general, we find that manifestation, that things that ignites something within us that can inspire us. And even better, for those who had that chance, there are enlightened beings that have come throughout history and have found a way to embody love and to show us the path. But the question I want to ask tonight is, what about us in our daily life? What is love for us in a concrete way? So, as put in definition for these talks about love, we can see that love is a word broadly used to designate many different things at many different levels of liking. Like we can talk about loving chocolate, loving the color blue, loving a concept, a song, a friend, family, partners, and children's. So there is a lot out there that it's not maybe really defining exactly with one word what we truly feel. Then we have religions that have tried to help us there by giving us specific definitions and sets of rules and practices as to how to give love. So that comes handy, and we're going to talk about that a bit later on in this talk. But through all of this, there is also our own personal definition of love that we may or may not be aware of. So I would like to talk a bit about the different levels of love. And one thing that we see in many different knowledge traditions is that we are composed of different sheaths or layers or bodies. And as we have different bodies, we do have also different levels of love. So if I had to grossly give you an overview of it, this is how I would do it. We could speak about love at a physical level. And love at a physical level is a survival need. It is an exchange rate. It is really about you give me food, you provide for me, I love you. And I'm going to show you my love by cooking for you, taking care of you as well. So this is kind of a basic kind of really survival, animalistic, if we could say, type of love, which is needed. It's not about giving it a lesser value. It's just saying that at that level, that's what love could be. And for some people it's enough, and for some it may not be enough. Then we could speak about love at an emotional level, a subconscious level. And here we could have two sides to it. In the light side of it, we could speak about love as a feeling, as an emotion, something that makes us really feel something. Like we can make the difference when we feel it and when we don't. And we still feel it coming and going. It's a transient state. It doesn't stay. And in the dark side of it, we could speak about love as a hidden conception based on what we've experienced in our story and labeled as love. So, to give you an example, if one had the misfortune, for example, to have experienced physical abuse in their young age from one of their caregiver, in a child's psyche, it's just impossible that their caregiver could not love them. So whatever their caregiver would do, we would label that as love. So it could be that if I went through that painful experience at a young age, my subconscious has a definition of love that is pointing at self-abuse is a way that this person was loving me. So this is a side of our definition of love that we may not be aware of, and that it is probably useful to get to know, so that we also know where we're at, how we express love, and how we feel that we truly receive it. Then we could also speak about love at a psychological level, or mental or conscious level. So this is what we are aware with our thoughts. So here we could speak about love as a concept, a definition that we agree with, and that may diverge from the subconscious definition that we have. So to get back to our example, it could be that at a conscious level, and when I speak to my friend, I speak about love as being shared values and based on equality, like equal importance for between me and my partner, for example, and my partner taking care of me and being soft and gentle with me, and I would give the same. And this is what I consciously really understand as being love and what I want to give and attract. And then if I do have that subconscious different definition that love was when my caregiver was abusing me in one way or another, I may end up going to my friends and complain that I don't understand, I'm always attracting the same type of partner. And I think they're sweet at first, but then they always end up not giving me what I want, and maybe I'm experiencing some type of abuses again. So this is where we can see that love is not just something that we have in the mind, it is also based on many different factors. And when we speak about love at these different levels, physical, emotional, subconscious, or psychological, mental, conscious levels, we're speaking about love as a doing. So we're really in the realm of human, at the human level. So that this is where love is an action, a feeling, something that doesn't stay, that is transient, and that is not unconditional. We're in the realm of conditions, where love can be something that we give and receive. Whereas when we speak about love in spiritual terms, most of the time we're referring to love as at a godly level, if I may say. So it's a level where love is not doing anymore, but a state of being. So this is where we can speak about unconditional love. which is our true nature, and which is God. All these terms are equal. So here, love is an endless giving without any need to receive. It is the expression of universal consciousness, which is why it is actually seated in the area of the physical heart, in the center of the chest, which is, as is defined by many, many different traditions, as the seat of the soul, the doorway to oneness. The mother of the Sri Aurobindo ashram, Mira Alfasa, rightfully spoke about 4 stages of human love in which we grow and evolve. And you're gonna see there is a parallel with the different levels I just mentioned. She says that at first, one loves only when one is loved. One loves only when one is loved. Which means that at first, if you love me first, then I will love you back. So it is kind of what we could link with this idea of love as a survival level. Like if it feels safe, if you give me love, then I may trust you. And this is a part where we're still using discernment, where we first need to be sure that we're not going to be hurt somehow to be able to trust and lean into the heart that has opened for us. Then she speaks and she says that the next one loves spontaneously, but one wants to be loved in return. So here it is me deciding that I want to love you, and maybe I'm making the first step, but I still want you to love me back. So this could be still this kind of emotional level where I feel that we need a common ground, we need some type of equality in the exchange to feel safe, to feel that there is a balance and that I receive as much as I give. Then further on, one loves even if one is not loved, but one still wants one's love to be accepted. So here, I love you even if you don't love me back, but I still need you to accept my love. I can accept that you don't give me the same that I give you. I accept the imbalance in the exchange, but I cannot accept that you're not receiving what I offer you. That would be still painful. And finally, one loves purely and simply without any other need or joy than that of loving. And this is what we could link to this godly level of love, to this unconditional love at the spiritual level, where we are into the selfless giving. We don't have any needs. We're just beaming the love of life that is everywhere, and it's going through us, and we just let it do what it does. And there is a beautiful quote that puts it also in poetic words that says that the people of love are loved through their love. Which means that just the fact that we are able to love, and that we do, points back to the fact that only love can love. So love is our true nature. So we are already complete in love. And there is nothing that we could need from the outside. So why am I speaking about all these different things? It is to make sure that we are not going on with misconceptions of love, because as we said, it's one title with many different scenarios possible under it. and that we know where we're at. Because from one situation to the next, from one stage of our life to another, from one person to another, we may have a very different level of expression of love, for example. And what this shows, what the mother tells us here, is that we can grow into love. And it is a process. And for this, one of the key ingredients that I really want to point at is that there is no love without vulnerability. We can never be sure we're gonna get back what we give, and we cannot give from a place of control. We can only love someone as much as we do love ourselves as well. And this is our only limitation to love, actually. Besides the moments of grace when the unconditional love dawns on us suddenly, in a situation we have this impulse to save someone else at the expense of our own lives, maybe, or yeah, so that would be a good example. Because when we say that we love, but we have internal feelings that we are maybe sacrificing ourselves for someone else, or we are being a doormat, actually, we're just saying yes to everything without any discernment, because we think that unconditional love means to say yes to everything. When we're maybe accepting abuse, it is not really love for the other, not for oneself, because it always feels resentment, unhappiness, traumas, and we just feel it into your system. It's not that same quality of the real divine love. So self-love is necessary. It is a part of the spiritual love. Otherwise, if we don't love ourselves and we're all about loving others, we are actually breeding a feeling of separation, which is actually in opposition with what spiritual love is, with what this godly love is. And if we're giving what we truly need and want to receive, this is not selfless, and it just points to a lack of complete self-love. And here again, drawing the line that self-love, complete real self-love, is not being egoistic either. Self-love is acting from the place of deepest insight and love, governed by universal consciousness or higher self or divine love, however you like to call it. But you feel it. It has a totally different quality to it, and it doesn't feel like we're missing something or that it's taken something from us to act from this place. And so once again, real unconditional love is not an emotion. It doesn't have to feel good. It doesn't have to be happy and joyous. Unconditional love is a state of being. So when we feel love as an emotion, something that comes and goes, we're still 1 foot into the human level of love. And it's not bad. It's just good to know where we're at so that we can take care of ourselves accordingly. So the good news is that we can grow into love. And besides moments of grace, it is a process. And this is why there are so many traditions, so many beautiful traditions all over the world that are giving us spiritual practices. Because spiritual practices are designed to align and connect all these parts of ourselves and attune them to the highest resonance possible, which is love, and have it spread its grace to all levels of our being and also around us. So it is kind of like watering plants. When you do, you water one plant, but this water is nourishing that plant, but also spreading all around it and nourishing the ground around it. So every tradition has its own map on how to grow into love. And I'm not going to go into details about all of them tonight. I'm just going to shortly speak about Hinduism, where we call it yoga there, which is the path of union. So it's kind of the way back into love, into union, one consciousness. And here we have different main paths, but just to give you a little idea of which one you are already on in your own way. We have the path of Karma Yoga, which is the selfless service. So this is where we're having a more focus on outward giving and feeling fed and nourished from giving that love. Once again, the people of love are loved through their love. So that goes always when we speak about a spiritual path. We go from doing back into being. That's the goal. Then we also have Bhakti Yoga, which is the path of devotion and divine love. So here it's about breaking through all individual needs to reach unity with the divine conception of love, of our choice. So by honoring the divine and through devotion, we get back to this sensation that we're worthy of love, we're receiving that love, and then we realize that the divine that we are honoring is actually our real consciousness, the same that is in every living thing. And then we also have Jnana Yoga, which is the path of knowledge. And though it may sound a bit brainy at first, because it's like, oh, but knowledge, is it more about more definitions? No, it is where we know what love is. And when I say know, we can only truly know through direct experience. So we may start from concepts, but once again we go from doing into being. So from this we go into the direct experience of that love. But maybe in the way we have made sure that we shade all the misconceptions that we may have about love. So maybe saying, okay, love is not about physical survival needs. Love is not an emotion. Love is not a misconception from my psyche. Love is not this, not that, not that, not that. And then what is left is the true love, and I can experience it. So yes, love is our true nature, that is for sure. But it expresses itself in our minds and lives in millions different ways. So this is kind of what we speak here, this idea of love is our true nature, it's one consciousness. But in our daily lives, in our true experiences, we have it as an infinite span of perspective. Everybody's going to have a different experience, different conception of what love can be. And here we also have a beautiful, beautiful quote from Rumi, who is a beautiful mystic, who says that your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So once again, we come back to the idea that the path is a shedding of all misconceptions, of all inner barriers that we have unconsciously built against to veil our true nature somehow. So Rumi also points out to the idea that we need practices to help us break through our misconceptions and be able to remember that love, true love, is our true nature, and then to be able to experience it, to live it on a daily basis. And here again, I want to make a little difference at how it is for children and adults, because we have it a bit different. As adults, taking time to grow into love is important because we need a progressive way to open up, to tune into that divine love, to then be able to radiate it. Because as adults, through our life experiences, we may have learned to close ourselves and limit the natural flow of love within us through narrow views and understanding of what love is. So, to go back again to our example, if I think that love is abuse, I mean, I don't think it, but I have this subconscious conception that when I'm abused, I'm actually being loved. Of course, there are chances that I may shut down and close myself to love, to actually protect myself from the great suffering that comes along with it. So, too much love, so let's say something that is too intense, that is more than what we feel worthy of, or that is more than what we can, the level that where we can love ourselves. So too much love can be overwhelming and could burn our nervous centers and nervous system. It would be kind of like, if it's too much in one go, it's kind of like putting your fingers into the electricity socket and taking that charge. And though we do have electricity in our body all day, all the time since we're born, that would be too much for our system to be able to take in. So as adults, we need chewable bites, bit by bit, increasing the dose slowly. Which is something that babies and small children don't have. It's not a problem that they have because they can actually take it all in. They are still very connected to the source. They're still having that imprint, and they actually need that imprint in the material world, in the real physical life, from caretakers to be able to survive. In the previous talk, my dear friend Anna was speaking about how they realized that babies that would have their physical needs met, like they would be fed, they could sleep, but they would not receive any kind of love through touch or any other way, would have less a chance to survive than other babies. So yes, we can say that love is a true medicine. And if it doesn't work, we can slowly increase the dose, but slowly. So, before concluding this talk, I would like to invite you to a short practice of this self-love medicine. So, I invite you to find a comfortable position, might be lying down, sitting on a chair, on the ground, half reclined, whatever works for you. Close your eyes and take a deep breath to come into the inner sensation of who you are. And you can do this even more by breathing into your lower belly, bringing the breath deep down into the lower belly. connecting to your entire being, to the sensation of liveliness that is there everywhere in you. And with open awareness, without any judgment, simply observing and feeling what is alive in you right now. Letting go of sensations, of tensions, thoughts, trying to take you away from the present moment and from this open awareness. Staying connected to who you are and what you feel. And gently, you can bring your attention in the area of the heart center, in the middle of your chest. And keep breathing naturally. Sensing without judgment what is alive for you in the area of the chest. Maybe a sensation of openness or attention, welcoming it as it is. Welcoming home every sensation. And dropping all ideas and conceptions of love. Just bathe into the feeling of love, being who you fully are right now. Love being the life within you, and you being the liveliness of love. Love being who you are, and you being what love is. And if there is any discomfort, accepting it as part of the love that you are right now. Dropping all separation and embracing it all parts of you, all sensations, all thoughts, breathing into the feeling of love being who you are now. Slowly you can reopen your awareness to the feelings of the outside world, hearing the sounds around you, feeling the sensation of your belly going up and down as you breathe, feeling the weight of your body wherever you are lying or sitting. And before opening your eyes, staying in that expanded state of consciousness where you feel one and complete. And as you gently open your eyes, you can look at everything that is around you as part of that state of love, that being that you are. That sensation may go very quickly, but it's okay. And the more you practice this, the longer you're going to be able to stay into that state. Because love is also a daily practice of presence and awareness. Exactly what you just did right now. And though it is very important and beautiful to be able to stay in this practice for a long time, to really have it sink in, it is also very important, even if we do it for a lesser time, but to practice it daily, very regularly, as a reminder that I'm not only my thoughts, I'm not only my body, I'm not only what happens to my life, I am also one consciousness with everything. I am true love. We are all connected. So I wish you to every day find the vulnerable courage to let it express itself through you. And I thank you for your presence with me this evening for this talk. We may have a few more minutes for some questions if you have. So please don't hesitate to drop one or two questions if something is burning for you that you would like to share, and it can be just a sharing a little poem, something that you felt. It doesn't have to just be a question. I would very love to also read something that you just wrote right now. So I'm gonna stay in silence for a few minutes, see if anybody has something to say, and if you're complete and you're feeling done, you can just end watching now. Thank you. And I do send love to all of you that I see connected right now, and who said hi in the chat. Okay, looks like people feel complete. Beautiful. Okay, then unless somebody just writes quickly that they have something to share, then I'm gonna let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm pretty sure you can always bring something, write something in the comments under the video. I love you all. Thank you all for being present. That warms my heart. I wish you a beautiful evening, and I hope to touch base with all of you in the physical realm soon. Bye.